October 27, 1962. The closest the world has ever come to nuclear annihilation. A single moment deep beneath the ocean's surface where one man's decision saved humanity. This is the story of Soviet submarine B-59, and how the world almost ended without anyone knowing. It was the height of the Cold War. The United States and the Soviet Union stood at the brink of disaster. The Soviet Union had secretly deployed nuclear missiles to Cuba, just 90 miles off the coast of Florida. In response, the United States imposed a naval blockade around the island, intercepting and turning away Soviet ships carrying nuclear weapons. But what most people didn't know was what was lurking beneath the waves. 4 Soviet submarines, including the ill-fated B-59, had been sent to support the operation. B-59 wasn't just any submarine. It carried a nuclear-tipped torpedo with the destructive power of the Hiroshima bomb. Cut off from communication with Moscow, the crew of B-59 had no idea whether war had already broken out on the surface. To make matters worse, the United States Navy had detected the submarine near Cuba and began dropping practice depth charges, small explosives meant to force the sub to surface. But to the crew inside, isolated, overheated, and exhausted after days underwater, it felt like an attack. Under immense stress, the captain of B-59, Valentin Savitsky, was convinced that war had begun. He ordered the submarine's nuclear torpedo to be armed and prepared to fire at the United States fleet. Had that torpedo been launched, the United States would almost certainly have responded with a full-scale nuclear counterstrike. But here's the critical detail. On Soviet submarines like B-59, the decision to launch a nuclear torpedo required a unanimous vote from the ship's top 3 officers. 2 voted yes. 1 man stood in the way. That man was Vasily Arkhipov, the flotilla commander aboard B-59. Arkhipov, already a hero from a previous incident aboard the nuclear submarine K-19, argued that firing the torpedo would be a catastrophic mistake. He insisted they surface, make contact with Moscow, and await orders. Incredibly, his calm and reasoned stance, despite the suffocating heat and fear inside the sub, persuaded the others. The order to fire was rescinded, B-59 surfaced, and a nuclear apocalypse was averted. The incident remained a secret for decades. When it finally came to light, historians and officials acknowledged that this was, in fact, the closest the Cold War ever came to turning hot. The United States and Soviet Union both stepped back from the brink shortly after, agreeing to de-escalate. The United States would secretly remove its missiles from Turkey and the Soviets pulled theirs from Cuba. But none of it might have happened had it not been for Vasily Arkhipov's courage in the most intense moment of his life. If you enjoyed this story and want to discover more incredible moments from history, make sure to subscribe for more amazing stories.